slaving over that hot stove. So it smells pretty good. So kirtan. Kirtan is the singing of sacred mantras. We're going to be taking it in turns up here to sing the mantras first. So hopefully everyone's got mantra sheets. If you don't want to join in, you can just sit and relax and listen. So what we're ultimately doing with kirtan is resting our hearts and our minds. So we're letting that transcendental sound, that spiritual sound vibration enter our ears, and it goes into the mind and then to the heart center, and that is where the soul, you, the spirit soul, or the Atma, the Jiva Atma, is residing in that heart center. So all you need to do is relax. It's a very beautiful form of meditation, and it's very popular, as you can see. It's we're always really packed here. People just really appreciate the kirtan so much in their lives. It actually is quite transforming. It's transformative. So we're going to begin. So the band that is here tonight is Heartstrings. We've sort of shrunk a bit because Byron's not here now, and Chris has got a really bad back. He's hurt his back, so he's...
Chris is a cellist.
Yes, and he's in bed. He can't get up, unfortunately. So we're down to a smaller group tonight. So we've got Murari here on the violin, and we've got Garuda on the guitar, myself Gayatri. I'm just singing, and so is Angela. We've got Kev and Trevor playing the piano. Trev's sort of taken over from Kev, but Kev has been in the band for a long time, so he knows Byron better. So he wanted to be here and play a couple of tunes for Byron, and Nityananda on the bass. So thank you very much for coming, and I hope you enjoy the evening.
Are you called Heartstrings tonight?
Something like that.
We'll be the make-do strings.
Take Need I go?
some Gurunga breath meditation now. Everyone likes this one. If we don't do it, we get complaints. So we're just going to relax a little more. So Kirtan's very relaxing. Is everyone relaxed? Yeah, it's very soothing. Soothing not only for the body and mind, but for the soul. So just let your shoulders sink down. Just soften your face. And just breathe in a natural way. We want the breath to be slow and deep but natural. Just taking that breath all the way down into the lower lungs. Feeling the belly expand and contract on the exhale. I'd just like you to meditate on this very beautiful ancient yoga mantra. Aham Brahmasmi. This mantra means that I'm spirit, not matter. I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, I am the eternal spirit soul, the eternal spark of the Supreme Soul. I'm only temporarily residing within this body and mind. The body is temporary and I am eternal. Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi. So by chanting these, singing or saying these spiritual sound vibrations, it's a very purifying experience. We bathe our body to stay clean. We also need some spiritual bathing. So these kirtan, these mantras, when we sing and say them, it's like taking a transcendental bath. These mantras are very powerful. And they cleanse the heart and mind of material contamination that's been there for lifetimes. And it uncovers the real you, the true you. Just little by little, the more you practice, the more you'll be able to understand and experience the mantra Aham Brahmasmi. It's actually an experience. It's something you'll experience. You won't just be thinking about it in the mind. It'll actually manifest that you are the eternal spiritual being. And it also reawakens or uncovers your natural loving relationship with the Supreme Soul. And when we're experiencing that we are eternal spiritual beings, and we are having that loving relationship with the Supreme, then we're in our natural condition. And we become very happy, full of spiritual love and happiness. So we're going to do some more cleansing now. We're taking some more transcendental bathing. And we're going to add the mantra Gauranga to our breath. The mantra is said in 4 syllables, Gauranga. As you inhale, say it within the mind, and as you exhale, say it aloud for the full breath. Feel the vibration in your throat and your mouth throughout your body. and completely immerse in this sound vibration. I always feel like I'm in a nice little cocoon. The sound is enveloping me. But you might have a different experience, but no matter what the experience is, I'm sure it is most wonderful. So we'll take a couple of inhales and exhales before we add the mantra, just to get into a rhythm. So we'll take an inhale now. Slow inhale. And we'll exhale. Slowing the breath down calms the mind and relaxes the body. We'll take another inhale. And another exhale. One more inhale. And on this next exhale, we're going to add the mantra. And we'll exhale now. Inhale, saying it within the mind. And we'll exhale. hold the mantra in your mind. Let it resonate there. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Has everybody got a seat? There's somewhere to sit. It's a pretty big night tonight. There's some tiny little chairs up there. If you've got good hips, you'll be able to sit on them. Otherwise, we've got plenty of bolsters if you want to squeeze in somewhere on the floor. Just move the lamps aside if they're taking up too much room. So, I don't know if some people have been, were a bit late, so they probably missed the intro. Tonight we're paying tribute to Byron, one of our much-loved band members. He's been playing with us for how long now? A few years?
Yeah,
a few years? Christmas 23 he started. Yeah. And Byron has left his body, and so he won't be with us any longer. So we're going to miss him. Very sad because he's left us. But I just want to talk a little bit about the death experience, just from a yoga viewpoint, which is what we teach here. It's quite different to a lot of Western ideas on death. And it's actually not that bad. It actually, if you have an understanding of your identity and how things work, then you're not fearful of death. But before I begin, I would like to just pay my respects to my spiritual master, who has taught me everything I know. Iti namine. So even in the beginning stages, you know, when you're not fully self-realized, you can be, you know, not fearful of death. It just takes a little bit of wisdom. And as I was saying in the Guranga breathing, aham brahmasmi, I'm spirit, not matter. I'm eternal. These bodies that I'm taking on are just temporary. So it's described in the Vedas, that where our information's coming from, the yoga text, that, you know, we're like the spiritual being and we're covered by a mind, the subtle material body, and it's made of the elements mind, intelligence, false ego. So there is actually, a subtle element, mind. And then over that is this gross physical body made of earth, water, fire, excuse me. Let's take a sip. Earth, water, fire, air, and ether, and everything in this universe is made of those elements, and my body's made of those elements. And but I am eternal, so, you know, I'm actually changing from body to body in this lifetime. You know, I start off as a baby body, and then I become a little girl, and then a teenager, and then, you know, every 5 years there's quite a change in the body, especially when you're younger. As you get older, not so much, but then you get really old and there's a lot. So the middle part of the years, it doesn't appear to be, you know, a big change in your body, but it's happening. So it says in the Vedas, there's a nice quote from the Bhagavad Gita, and it says that as the embodied soul continually passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. The self-realized soul is not bewildered by such a change. So every 5 years we have a totally new body on. Every cell has been completely changed in that 5 years. And the cells are replaced at different times. You know, the skin lasts about 6 weeks, and the liver 2 weeks, the bones are 12 months. But, you know, all those cells are continually being replaced. And, I like to describe it, it's like a brick wall, you know, and if you have a brick wall and you take one brick out and then you replace it, and then another time you take another one, replace it. So if you took a brick out every day and put a new one in, the brick wall looks the same, but it's completely changed. And that is like our body, it's constantly changing. So the soul is actually reincarnating in this lifetime from these different bodies. Every 5 years you have a completely new body on. And then at the time of death, you actually leave the body, and that is the death experience. And when you fully, as it says in that verse, a self-realized soul is not bewildered by such a change. To a self-realized soul, it's like they've got their clothes, their undergarments, their mind, and they've got their physical body. And at the time of death, they take off that physical body. It becomes uninhabitable. Maybe it becomes sick, or maybe there's an accident. You can't inhabit it anymore. So you have to leave that body behind. Yes, but that your existence is not depending on the body. You're going to be existing with or without this body, and so this has been going on for lifetimes. And at this time of death, if you are self-realized, you don't have to come back into this body, another body again at the time after death, after the death of this body. You can head back to the spiritual realm where you belong, where there is no birth, there's no death, there's no disease, there's no old age, there's no suffering. It's actually blissful. So I don't know what Byron's experience was at the time of death, but he'd heard a lot here over 12 years or however long he's been coming. We're always doing these little wisdom talks about you're not the body and you're eternal. And, at the time of death, you can become fully self-realized. So I don't know whether he's taken on another body or he is in the spiritual realm. But we know that he's in good hands because he's in the Lord's hands. So whatever the Lord has for has in store for him, it's all going to be wonderful. There's no problems there. When you hear these mantras, it actually changes everything. It changes your destiny. So when you add this to your life on a regular basis, the outcome can only be good. I had a friend once, and he was telling me how he was in a hospital and in the waiting room, waiting for a friend to see a friend. And there was a family there, and they were Muslims. And their father was very, very sick, and he was actually dying of cancer, and they just got the results back. And they were too scared. They didn't want to tell him. They were talking amongst themselves. Should we tell him? Shouldn't we? And then they sort of decided that maybe they shouldn't tell him that he's going to die. He's going to leave his body. And so they asked my friend, what do you think? They were sort of very lost. And he was just sitting there, and they asked him what he thought. And he said, oh, no, I think you should tell him. He has to know. He has to be prepared. And so they said, oh, okay, well, will you tell him? It's a big ask for someone as, you don't know. But, yeah, they were just, lost and didn't know what to do. So so he went in. He said, yes, okay, I can do that. So he went in and he said to the old man, the results have come back and the results aren't good, that you don't have long to live. The cancer's spread everywhere throughout your body. And he said he could see the fear coming into that man's eyes. Like, it's a terrifying thought because most people don't know what happens at the time of death. And that's the scary part. And anyway, my friend said to him, oh, you don't need to worry about it. You've got your beads here. He said, you need to just chant the names of God on the beads. Whatever names of God that you chant those. So he took the beads and he said, you're not the body. He explained that you're not the body, and he explained about the mantras, how they can transport you back to the spiritual realm. And he said he just relaxed, and his eyes, the fear left, And he thought, I know what I can do. So he got his beads out and he started chanting the names of Allah on the beads. And his death was very, very relaxed and peaceful because he didn't have that fear anymore. You know, he's eternal. He's going to be existing after he leaves this body. So it's a very wonderful thing because death is such a fearful thing for so many people. And just having this knowledge that I'm not the body, it removes that fear. And, you know, he was chanting the names of Allah, which is the names of God. God has many, many names. He's unlimited. But there is only one supreme. And he has those millions and billions of names. Allah, which means all compassionate. Jehovah, which means all powerful. Krishna, which means all attractive. He has every single attractive feature, quality that you can imagine. And Gopala, Govinda. There's so many names for God, and they all have the power to purify you and give you this realization of who you are, and that you don't need to fear death. So I'm sure at the end of his life, Byron took refuge in this knowledge, and I'm sure it made his leaving much more peaceful. So we're going to talk a little bit about Byron now and our experience with Byron. Byron used to I remember he came for a while, just came and chanted, like he'd just came like you. And then a couple of times he popped up and he had his viola and he asked if he could play. He's always very, very gentlemanly. If anyone, who here knows Byron? Yeah? Yes, yeah. And he just asked me, he's always asked me, because he's a very, very respectful man. You know, we loved working with him. And, he just asked if he could play, and he was just brilliant. He was a brilliant musician. He had perfect pitch. He actually would tell us how to play. And if he didn't like something, we knew it. And he'd go, "What are you thinking?" Garuda? He was always chastising Garuda. But Garuda used to take it on board because, he knew what he was doing, And so he'd just play along. And he did this for quite a long time, didn't he? And then Murari discovered that he played the viola. I don't know why you didn't know already. Did you know? No. Maybe you didn't come the nights he played. And then, so she just got him in the band real quick. And he was quite happy to join, yeah? And but sometimes he'd come to, when we were playing and it wasn't Heartstrings, and he'd always play his viola. And he loved Radhi's drumming. Where's Radhi? Is she here? Yeah. He actually said that he thought she was the best drummer here. He really liked her drumming. So there you go, Radhi. And he had a wicked sense of humour. Did anyone else get that? Yeah, a wicked sense of humour. And sometimes I'd look at him and I go, is he joking? Or and he was joking, but he always had a serious look when he joked. So we never knew for sure. One of those sort of, what do they call that? When they're, so serious and poker-faced, and there's a name for that, isn't there? Dry sense of humour, yes, that's it. Dry sense of humour. But he was very quick-witted. And on the Facebook page, we saw that he had a whole orchestra going at 17. Didn't he? You tell that story.
Well, watching the video of him at 17 playing on a television show in Missouri, in the States. And I've written my first symphony, just looking for a symphony to play it with, 17.
17. It's on YouTube. It is on YouTube, yeah. And yes, I watched that and I went, well, he was obviously brilliant at a very early age, yeah.
Well, he was 5.
5 when he started, yeah. Little violin. And have you got anything else you want to add to that?
I have
Oh, she's organised.
I just forget things. It's memory. And I'm sure if Byron was here, he'd have a joke about it.
He would.
It would. Actually, does anyone remember his jokes? I've been asking everyone here, do you remember his jokes? I recorded one, so I know. We'd asked him to play one of the songs, just to play the end of Wayfaring Stranger. And he goes, oh, I'm happy to die alone. He goes, he's referring to the viola, playing that out of the song. And he goes, oh, and you know what they say, where there's a will, there's relatives. And it's like, yeah, there's that little pause you get. Oh. Does anyone remember any of his other quirks? No? No one wants to get up. But anyway, we didn't know him that well personally, but he came.
He did that on purpose, though. He was just a reclusive sort of person. He wouldn't tell you anything about his life. He wanted to keep that to himself.
But you never got the feeling that you couldn't get close to
No.
him. He was very friendly.
Yeah, he was very friendly.
Generous. He was very sweet in a lot of ways, and funny, like we said. And yet he made our rehearsals so much more funny, didn't he? Yeah. So so he played very early, like Gartry was saying that he joined Heartstrings as soon as Murari said, yeah. And it's funny because I used to watch them too, their little heads together, and with their bow, going like, talking about the piece. It was also a little a violin section going. And it was also cute because I know that Mariah's going to miss him terribly in playing, and she learnt so much from him. She appreciates that. Did you want to talk about him? No.
She's very shy. That's why we're telling you all Mirari's stories. We're not going to get one out of her.
But even with his sense of humour, you know he took his music seriously. Music was his life, and in celebrating Byron, we discovered how many people he touched through his music, and how many people really wanted to be part of talking about him, to celebrate him and their connection to him. And I only knew him when I came to Heartstrings and rehearse, but you really develop a feeling for him and his intention. So we talked about perfect pitch, and I want to share a story with you. After my father passed away, I came up with a melody, and I had the viola in mind. Okay, Byron can do this. I sort of figured out a few chords on the guitar, and I took it to Ruda, and he sort of fixed them up a bit. He said, always dodgy, aren't they? But that's okay. And I said, Byron, I don't have sheet music, and you don't do that to an orchestra. You don't, do you, Murray? Turn up going, this is a tune, da-da-da-da-da-da, whatever. And anyway, I sung it to Byron, he wrote it down really quick. And the violin parts, he did that too. Yeah. He wrote them all down from my singing to him. And that's from his perfect pitch. So he'd draw the lines and write all the musical notation for what I was doing. And I wanted to play, sorry, I'm going to play it here because I recorded every rehearsal that I did with him.
How are we going to play it, though?
Oh, I've got it.
But on your phone? Or they're not going to hear?
Savannah sorted it.
Oh, he's sorted it. Cool.
Yeah, he's got a little worse than me. He's
All right.
13 and he's figured it out. I'm going, I didn't bring the USB stick, and he's going, don't worry, you can just Bluetooth on the mixer. So let's just see, Savannah, where are you?
In another childhood.
I know he is, and and he doesn't get it from his mum and dad. They are not technical at all, and he's like totally technical. It's like he's a throwback or something. But then they didn't have the digital age back then, so he's not a throwback.
So Byron didn't like that. You couldn't catch him on a mobile. Yeah.
No, he didn't have a mobile phone. You had to ring him on the landline.
Yeah. So I call this Garuda, Murari and Byron.
1, 2, 3, 4.
He liked to plan though, didn't he?
He did.
He didn't like freestyle. He liked to have it all in front of him and know exactly what he's going to do next.
I apologise, Byron.
And Angela's the opposite.
Yeah, I'm a bit improvisational. Okay, so we knew he also played with heart because it meant so much to him, and so it meant a lot to us. So I wanted to do Wayfaring Stranger, and then we got him to play it out with. I think Kev was playing keyboard on this, and so beautiful. We clapped and cheered at the end.
Goosebumps, doesn't it? Mm.
So this next one is, he had a real talent for harmonising and harmonising with any instrument. And what that meant is we have a number that we do Havana. Havana, it's always been traditionally just Murari playing the violin alone, and this is she was playing with Byron this time, and he was just harmonising along with her, and it was so beautiful. I had to show it to you.
Yeah, I think you were going to...
Yeah, other people say
Garuda had a lot to do with Byron.
Did I?
Yeah, he was always telling you off.
I remember when Byron first came, and we actually had the band was over there, and then he wanted to come up and play, and he'd ask us if he could play, and we'd be like, had no idea who he was, because some people would just come up and say, "Can we play?" And we're like, "Well, we have no idea who you are," and like kind of cautiously optimistic. And then he'd play, but he wasn't mic'd up, so you couldn't actually hear him. But we could hear him up there, but no one could hear him out here because it was too soft. And then we eventually figured out he's really good. And then I found out through Murari that he actually plays in the orchestra, and then it kind of snowballed after that. Asked if he wanted to join the band, and then as Angela was saying, we would practice probably once or twice a month. This is for years we did this. And when he came over, we'd try and figure out tunes, and I would, sing a melody to him to what do you think about this? Can we do this? And then it'd be like, da 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 da, like I do something like that. and because I'm slightly out of key, but he would be instantly. He would notate it perfectly, perfect pitch. He could hear every note. Da. He knows what note that is. Writes it down, and then we go on to the next part. And then I would give him that one, little phrase, and then he would just make the cello phrase harmony for that, and it wouldn't just be like a third or a fifth, which he could do instantly. He would actually write a piece for the cello, which would sit underneath it, and then he'd write a bit for the violin, and it became like this little mini orchestra. And I would sit here sometimes just watching them play, just in awe. It's just amazing, beautiful music. So it's going to be a huge loss just for everyone. And we were kind of joking a little bit before, we've lost Byron. A bit of the light has left the world. But literally, light has left as well, because he would bring the lights to light up the music, so we don't have that anymore.
Everyone's going, I can't see, so we had to get the candles out.
So we've literally lost light because Byron's gone. So. But yeah, he's amazing to have worked with him, and he was well beyond, definitely me, like musically well beyond me. I'm not very good. But Mirari's more professional. Chris is a bit more professional as well. They can read music, multiple instruments, piano, violin. But he was just,
on another level.
Yeah, an
and
amazing
he never felt
musician.
that he didn't want to play with us because we weren't that good.
I often wondered, why are you playing here?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? We're terrible. And, honestly,
he actually really liked what ASMY was about.
Yeah.
He was
asked
so
him,
supportive. You asked him?
I asked him, I was like, you're clearly beyond our calibre. And he said he wanted his music to be involved spiritually. It wasn't enough just to play music, because music is obviously beautiful, and you listen to it, and, it's got a mode of goodness, as you would, say in Vedically. But for him, it needed to be more than just nice. It needed to have real purpose. So bringing it in as part of, spiritual practice, and, that was very important to him. So we didn't have to convince him. He just came and was like very eager to come to play with us and practice and rehearse, and he had to drive all the way out to my place, out, at Moreton Bay to come and play, and he would do it, and we were very, very grateful to have him, and I'm really going to miss him and his music. So.
I think Kev wants to say something.
Most of it's all been said. I wish I could have remembered some of those dad jokes, and let's face it, he has a dad joke sense of humour that could rival even Kanaram here. There's some physical similarities too. So well, look at that, it's gorgeous. Anyway, it's pretty rare that you come across someone who's got acute musical intelligence. And I've played with a few people, professionally, non-professionally, and mostly non-professionally, sung in choirs and all that sort of thing, and been around the block a few times as far as that's concerned. But he had that acute sense, and I loved the way that he could deconstruct something and reconstruct it. So you'd think, I don't know whether I hear that in there, but somehow he was able to pull it apart, put it back together and make it work, and that takes some skill to do that, some huge skill. But do it in a nice way too, like he was never a confronting person. I think the only time I ever saw him cranky is, and maybe this is when he was getting to the end of his life and his body, is I noticed that we were practicing late last year, and I just noticed he wasn't quite right, and he said he wasn't feeling well, but it seemed like a little bit more than that. And then the next thing, I knew he was sick, and he didn't come to, a couple of performances with Heartstrings, and then he's gone. So I was deeply saddened. I wasn't totally shocked when Mirari told me, because I knew he wasn't well, but to the extent, is that. But we were joking about him just a couple of weeks ago when we were having a practice, and he was very good with terminology, beat, all that sort of thing, and we're trying to explain to Chris to do this certain move on the cello and all that sort of thing, like a slide, and I thought, it's like a slide, like a hammer-on on a guitar or something. I couldn't think of the word. I knew there was a word for it, and eventually Chris gone, I think it's a glissando, and I said, that's exactly what it is. And I thought Byron would have just nailed that. It's a glissando, mate, that's what it is. But the time I really laughed, and I'll just finish with this. We're going to do Albatross later tonight, and the intro, it's kind of like an 8-bar repetition and all that sort of thing. And Garuda and I were nutting it out, and I said, no, you're coming in too early. I said, you've got to wait it's 4 bars and all that sort of thing. And he goes, yeah, I did 4 bars. And I said, no, you did 2 and all that sort of thing. And he's like, I said, no, count it out. And I counted it out and all that sort of thing. And all I could hear was Byron over my shoulder going, count to 4. Can't you count to 4?
I mean, honestly, he must have gotten very frustrated at times with us. I mean, he's used to playing with all these, people from orchestras, symphony orchestras, and here you've got the Mantra Room band.
I think what worked, and we've got that. There's an energy when we're playing this sort of music that it goes beyond the music. It's fun. And we don't do a lot of practice, but we get together and we have fun, And I don't play as much as I used to. I've had a few issues over the last 12 months. Some of you know about, some of you don't. I'm not going to go into it. But, it's just, whenever I sit down and play with these guys, whether it be Heartstrings or anyone here, I have fun, It's fun. That's why I do it, So anyway, I'll leave it at that.
Thank you, Kev. So we're going to sing a beautiful song now. And it's called Rest Peacefully, Sweet Soul. So if you like to join in and sing along with us, you're more than welcome. We're going to have the lyrics up on the screen. And our spiritual master wrote this beautiful song.
It's an easy melody. Do you sing along?
It's nice and easy. You should pick it up pretty quickly. So we'll sing to Byron.
Just wait for the words to come up so people can sing.
Can we have the words? There we go. sweet soul. The Lord will protect you. He's in full control. Rest peacefully. It's all part of His plan. Don't you be afraid. You're in His hands. Rest peacefully, sweet soul. No, there's nowhere to go. Don't you worry, your Lord's in control. Rest peacefully, sweet soul. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Again. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, last one. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Can I say something very briefly? I think that we should name this part of the mantra room after him. We could call it the Byron Bay.
We might do that.
Byron would be proud of that.
He'd like that joke too. He'd get that.
The Bowen Heartstrings.
All right. So we've got, I think we've only got time for one more key time. It's 40. Almost 42. Which one are we doing?
3 more.
Yeah. No. Just do 10 minutes each. 10 minutes each.
10 minutes each. Okay.
10, yeah. We've got 20 minutes.
Guys, I'm really nervous. I'm almost just pulled out. After the chant, you have your meal and you sit down and talk to people around. I used to sit next to Byron and we'd just chat. He didn't really reveal much about his life, but I told him about, I really wanted to do an Italian song, turn it into a mantra.
Because
A classic.
Angela's Italian.
And then he started speaking to me in Italian, and I go, what? And he told me that he lived there for 2 years, playing with the orchestra in Torino. And he learned a bit, but he really loved his time there. And I said, that's so cool, one day we'll do this. He said, when the time is right. He calmly said that, and I go, today's the time. And this is an offering for him, hoping he'd get a kick out of it. But a couple of times in rehearsal I did break down, so
So that
there's
might...
no guarantee, but please join me with the chorus. The chorus is easy, you'll catch on. It's the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna mantra. So you know the words. Join in and make it easier for me, because...
You've got this, Angela.
Thank you. I'll ask Byron to be here because you've flown off with your wings attached and gone off to some other adventure, but you'd be here tonight, all right? Thank you. La
Stand up for Byron. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
Let's chant together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. One more. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Bol. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Okay, this one's Byron's
We call,
melody.
we've named it Byron's Medley, and it's a mellow one, and it's just I'd love to do it just
Okay.
for Byron tonight if we could, just quickly.
We'll keep Garuda happy. We just have to start for a bit longer.
Krishna Krishna Hare it together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Last one for Byron. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Krishna.
Thanks so much, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all for coming, and thank you to Byron's friends. It's nice to meet you all. There's a book. Some of Byron's friends have a memorial book to send to Byron's brothers in the US. So if people would like to share and write in the book, it is going to be at reception. And the shop's going to be open. So you can see Carmel if you want to buy something. A memento of the night. It was a very beautiful night, and I'm sure that Byron would be happy. It was a pretty nice party for him. And we just need to take these mantras into our hearts and embrace them, and everything will be okay. Namaste.
Namaste.
So we've got a beautiful meal coming out now. So just sit back, relax,